and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program, we check in with the Woodward School for Girls headmaster, Alex McGay. We have some information about a brand new program there. First, though, we take a weather and news look for you. Currently in Quincy, it's starting to clear up out there. Still some clouds, 44 degrees right now. Today will turn out pretty nice, actually. Mix of sun and clouds this afternoon, warming up to around 61 degrees. Temperatures drop into the lower 40s this evening. The last weekend of March looks a little unsettled, especially tomorrow with some afternoon and evening showers. Tomorrow's highs only in the mid-50s. A little cooler on Sunday, kind of breezy too with clouds increasing. High Sunday only in the low 50s. That sets the stage for check back to winter feel here on Monday. It'll be cold and windy with highs only in the low 30s. Look at Monday night, about 20 degrees, maybe even some teens in some of the outlying sections. So get ready for a chill next week. Right now, though, we have partly cloudy skies, 44 degrees in Quincy. In the news today, National Grid getting ready to begin a pretty major underground power cable replacement project here in Quincy. The utility company says it will replace 2 underground transmission cables that run from North Quincy to the Field Street substation near Quincy Center. Those cables run underneath Newport Avenue, Morrison Street, and the Southern Artery. They were installed back in 1973 and are nearing the end of their lifespan. Quincy Ward 3 City Councilor Ian Kane, who has complained about numerous power failures in Quincy, is glad to see the project get underway.
I appreciate the communication that has been put out through the last phase of the project, continuing into this phase. I've got my trusty direct mail that's come through in multiple languages, which I appreciate due to the diversity of languages spoken in Ward 3 and along the area that this project is taking place. So thank you for being here tonight. This is an important project for us, improving the electricity backbone of the city. And we've already seen improvements up where we are on Forbes Hill neighborhoods. I haven't heard about a blackout in a while or a brownout. So keep up the good work and thanks for the improvements.
National Grid says they will communicate with the community about the work through multilingual mailings, a dedicated website, and virtual community meetings. Any streets that are torn up for the project will be repaved. The 3.3-mile-long, $92 million project will begin this month and be completed by the end of 2023. 5 Quincy schools would receive some pretty major renovations under a plan put forward to the City Council this week. Public Buildings Commissioner Paul Hines says the work at the Point Webster and Broadmeadows Middle Schools and the Wollaston, Montclair, and Parker Elementary Schools will include new roofs, windows, and boilers.
Proposing to present to the MSBA under their accelerated repair program. This program is limited to boilers, roofs, and doors and windows. An expedited process on their end to help get these relatively simple projects underway. And generally speaking, they're for energy conservation purposes. We have several before you, windows at Point Webster, roofs at a number of schools, and the boilers at the Parker School. Tonight is not obviously seeking an appropriation of any funds. It's really just to an endorsement or a vote of support to authorize and allow the superintendent at my office to go forward with filing an application or statement of interest to the MSBA under the accelerated repair program to do these projects.
City Council did agree to seek some state reimbursement for the projects through the Massachusetts School Building Authority. Hines said if approved by the state, he would return to seek funding for those projects later this year. City of Quincy is on its way to getting its first recreational marijuana shop. The zoning board this week approved of the new store for a site at the Four River Rotary in Quincy Point, currently occupied by a swimming pool supply store. Ron Afsa, who owns Hair Place 1 on Quincy Avenue, wants to open up the new shop and call it Cadella. Zoning officials said there was adequate parking at that site. Afsa said there would be security personnel, video surveillance, and the customers would have to show proper identification. Afsa would share 3% of his store's revenue with the city. That's in addition to the 3% local tax and 17% tax on recreational marijuana sales in the state. Marijuana would not be grown at that location. Proposal does still need state approval. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch is responding to concerns that a statue of First Lady Abigail Adams is being moved from the Hancock Adams Common in Quincy Center to Marymount Park. Some say that statues of Abigail and First Lady Louisa Catherine Adams should have prominent locations in Quincy Center. The mayor says he has other plans to honor both women.
First of all, they don't belong to the city. The statues were Lloyd Lilly was the sculptor, and the Quincy Partnership was the sponsor. They'd raised some money and paid for those statues. So the Quincy Partnership technically still has, ownership of the statues. And they were working with the Park Service for a number of years to see if they could get them located, I believe, at the Birthplaces property. And the Park Service is a very bureaucratic agency, so they hadn't gotten much traction there. So Mr. Gohane reached out to me. He's the chairman of the partnership this past fall, and asked if we could place them at the Adams Walk at Marymount Park, which is a beautiful park with the fountain. We already have two Adams monuments there, one of the president and his son, two presidents, and one for Charles Francis Adams, who gave that park 80 acres to the city back in 1885. Mr. Gohane thought that there'd be a nice place for them, as well as for Central Middle School across the street. Kids could come over and view them and maybe talk about their contributions. So that's the plan. I announced not long ago that we're going to be naming the new Performing Arts Center for the First Ladies, and as part of the beautiful new Performing Arts Center, there'll be two beautiful marble sculptures of each of the First Ladies, and those are made to be indoors. Marble doesn't hold well over time outdoors, and marble's a much more beautiful product, if you will, than the bronze. I mean, especially when you're dealing with doing two beautiful women that contributed so much to our country.
Mayor says plans for that Performing Arts Center are in the design and permitting phase right now. Well, if you sign up for Interfaith Social Services Stop the Stigma 5K by the end of the day today, you're eligible to receive a free T-shirt. The 5K road race will be held on April 30th, beginning and ending at the Kennedy Center, and a virtual road race will be held April 30th through May 6th. All the proceeds go to Interfaith's New Directions Counseling Center. The in-person event will be held rain or shine. Coming up, we sit down with Alex McGay of the Woodward School here in Quincy for an update next. Welcome back. We're happy to welcome back to the program Alex McGay, headmaster of the Woodward School here in Quincy, for a little update on a brand new program that's coming up, but also a recap of some of the things that have been happening at the Woodward School lately. Nice to see you again, Alex. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks, Joe. It's great to be here.
It's our pleasure, as always. Actually, the last story that we did during the news segment about the statues of Abigail Adams, wasn't that statue at the Woodward School for a short time?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I heard something about that, but not in my time anyway.
Okay. Certainly a woman that contributed greatly to the city and to a school for girls would be appropriate, certainly.
Yeah, we talk about her all the time at Woodward.
Yeah, I bet. Last time we heard from Woodward, it was I Hate Shakespeare. We had a couple of your folks that run the Performing Arts program come over and tell us about that. How did it go?
It was amazing.
Good.
Kyle and Healy from Break a Leg Theater Works, they do such an incredible job. Kyle acted on Broadway, and Healy is an accomplished actress herself. And they come in to campus every day, upbeat, positive, and they're so professional and coaching these kids like they're Broadway actresses. And not just the kids on stage, but also the theater crew and all the other things that go into it. So our kids just had a ball getting ready for it, and the shows were amazing.
Yeah, we have a couple of pictures we want to show folks from the show, just to give people an idea, because it was open to the public, to the community, right?
It was.
Which is kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, we had 3 sold-out shows,
Okay.
and this is at the end of the show. Our kids coming out to take a bow.
Taking a bow, yes.
And
yeah.
we had some very proud parents.
I bet. I bet. Yeah. Well, I don't think people realize that it's an everyday. I mean, you take performing arts quite seriously at Woodward. This is a professionally run program that a Broadway professional comes in and helps run every day.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
really. And so we have some students that have experience and have, acted before and been on stage, and then we have a lot of kids that have never done it before, and it takes a lot of courage to get up there under the bright lights, and a lot of our new actresses showed a lot of courage and did a great job.
Yeah. Speaking of the bright lights, I know the whole theater was just redone not too long ago. It looks great.
Yeah, the whole building was recently renovated, and it's beautiful, including the Robert Johnston Auditorium. Mr. Johnston was our head of school for many years. They named it after him.
Okay.
And they have new lighting, new sound system. It's a beautiful stage. The curtains, everything has been renovated, and it's gorgeous. It, fits around 150 people, and it was good to see people in it after a couple years of not having shows during the pandemic.
Yes. So how is Woodward coping? Should we call it post-pandemic or waning pandemic, if you will?
Yeah, it's been great. We went mask optional over a month ago when the public schools did it. We have testing every Monday, and to keep our community safe.
Yeah.
And so some people still wear their masks because they choose to, and some people are able to, catch a breath and not wear one when they choose to. And it's good to get back to semi-normal.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it impacted athletics also? Is that kind of a more normal schedule now? Yeah.
Yes, so now they have the option, indoors when they're playing, volleyball, and so it's their option. And when they're competing, most of them are not wearing them.
Okay.
And we have a bunch of kids going out this spring for volleyball and softball, and they're having a ball. Doing some great things. Our games should be starting up next week or the week after.
Okay. Yep. Spring is slowly springing.
That's right.
Slow but sure. How's enrollment these days at Woodward?
It's going great. We've had a lot of great interest in students coming to next year. We're going through that enrollment stages, so the contracts and deposits are due in the next few weeks. So we've been working with families and communicating with them, and we're expecting a full house next year. So we're doing great things.
I know there's an open house coming up in April. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's our Night of the Arts, and that's a big tradition at Woodward. So all of our art students showcase their work from the year,
Oh, okay.
and we honor the work that they've done over the years. And so we figured it's a good time to show it off. So we're going to invite families that have students that might be interested in coming to Woodward. It's a good time to see us in the evening after school and kind of take in what our art program produces year in and year out.
Okay. April 27th, I think. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
In the evening hours, open to the public also.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's grades 6 through 12 for folks who don't know, right?
Yes, grades
And
6 through 12.
What is the total student body? How many students in total?
We are around 50 right now.
Okay.
After the reconstruction of the building and stuff, we were close to 100. We knew when we moved down to Eastern Nazarene that was going to impact enrollment because we were in another space, and now we're back in and we're building it back up, and we're going back to the way things were in the past.
Okay, good to hear. And you're also moving forward with new programs, right?
Yes.
Impact Learning.
Impact Learning at Woodward. So this is built on a program that we've had at Woodward for over a decade that was called the Senior Project. And so in past years, our seniors, when things started to warm up and they're getting excited for graduation, it was a great time to refocus them on their career aspirations. And so for many years, our students have been going out into the community and doing internships, right before they're heading off to college. And so we've had a number of students like Grace O'Sullivan, who worked with a state rep in the State House for for several weeks during her internship, and she was, deeply involved doing, drafting letters and making phone calls and doing social media posts, involved in a lot of important meetings. We had a student, Corinna Watson, who was working with an artist and a gallery owner, learning how to hang shows and understand what goes into, being an artist. She's now at MassArt. Grace is now at Harvard, and that internship helped prepare them for what they're doing in college. Another student, Jamie Perkins, they all graduated in 2020. Okay. She worked in the nonprofit sector and was helping homeless families and, nonprofit support and bringing awareness to homelessness. Okay. And the meaningful opportunities for them to learn and grow. And we wanted to do more of this, more career readiness. And we want all our high school students to be able to take advantage of this. So starting next fall, we're going to open that up to 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. Instead of at the end of the year, we're going to do it in the middle of the year. So our seniors can use that to help differentiate them for the college application process. I see, okay. And we've had enormous support from the community businesses that are taking on our interns, like QA-TV. Yes. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to collaborate with business owners and corporations in Quincy, in Greater Boston, and the South Shore. Our students are so excited, and they're already thinking about what they want to do. Had the opportunity to talk to the Chamber of Commerce and Tim Cahill last week, and he's really excited to partner with us on this. We'll be at the business showcase in Quincy next week, talking about impact learning. So if anybody wants to talk to us about it, at that time we'll be there. Okay, it's up at Granite Links, I think, right? Yes, yeah, okay. Yep. So that'll be a good opportunity to meet more business owners and kind of share more about the program. Okay, so it sounds like it's really student-driven. Is that right, Alex? It's kind of what their interests are, and then you kind of create a match that way? Yeah, okay. Yes. And so, we've learned over the years, it's well documented that about 60% of college students end up changing their major, right? And probably about 30% of college students will transfer schools. Yes. And when you change your major and you change your schools, it slows down the process, and it costs more money. Yep. And you're wasting time where you could be out in the career field working and stuff. And so, if we give students the opportunity to get into try out their careers, maybe they want to be an architect or work for the fire department, and once you get in those shoes and you go to on a call with the fire department, you may learn that is not what I want to do. Well, that's exactly right, yeah. And or maybe being an architect isn't what you thought it was going to be, and that gives you the chance to recalibrate and learn from your mistakes in a safe, supportive environment. And we've had many students at my previous schools that have done internships and in the next year readjusted and found what they really love, and then they go to college. They work through it for 4 years. They've made a network and contacts in the career field that they stay in touch with, that are great mentors to them. And then, I think 70 or 80% of people that do internships will be offered jobs, by the companies they're working for. So it's just a win-win situation, and most importantly, it also helps us connect with business owners and organizations in the community to get the Woodward word out there. Yeah, who might not be aware of Woodward, right? That's right. Even though it's been around for, what, over 150 years? Yeah, yes, exactly. But half the battle is figuring out what you don't want to do. Right? Literally, that is half the battle, right? Right, is determining what you don't want to do. If you can do that while you're still in high school, like you say, save time, save money. A lot of colleges don't even require students to declare a major until their sophomore year, or maybe even junior year. Northeastern University has a great internship program. I have a friend that went to school there in the 90s, and he ended up doing an internship with Mars, and then he worked for Microsoft for a number of years, and now he's working for Google. And none of that would have been possible without getting that foot in the door with a great company and corporation like Mars. And he credits much of his success to to that internship program. Right? Yeah. So let's get them started early.
Yeah. So is this modeled after anything, Alex, or is this something that's kind of unique to Woodward?
Well, you know, we're trying to make it unique
Yeah.
to our individual mission and students. It's been done before, obviously, and Northeastern is a great model. They've started it before before it was popular, but it's a growing trend in the country. But you know, we're I think the first in our region to do it.
At this level, at the high school level, right?
I believe, yeah.
So will all students be eligible, or will some?
All high school students.
All high school students.
And so at the end of the the end of the 2-week internship, so kids will be going, you know, instead of coming to school, they'll be going right to a business, and they'll be spending 2 solid weeks, and they'll have an advisor who's checking in on them, who's available for support if they're having challenges or difficulties, and the advisor will do site visits and go to the businesses. And then after the 2 weeks end, there'll be a reflection period where they can really think about what they learned and how things went. And then they participate in a symposium, and they can showcase their learning to our community. The middle school kids will be able to go, parents will come, the business owners will come, and they'll be able to show off their stuff.
What they did, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Interesting. So this is the first year, this coming fall, that this will be offered?
Yes, and like I said, we've been doing it with seniors, but now we're just going to open it up for the whole high school. And a lot of kids are thinking about you know, what they want to do, and a lot of kids have high school jobs, and those are great too. You can learn a lot from them, but it's different because with an internship, because you're thinking, you know, what you want to be when you grow up.
Sure.
And you're learning, you know, career, you know, goal skills, and we're going to help them with their resumes and their interview skills. So they're going to have to go after those jobs and earn them. And what we're fielding names of companies and corporations that want to work with our students in advance. So we'll have a menu to offer them. If they have, you know, if they have an interest in a business that's not on the menu, they can still pursue it.
Okay.
But we want to help them, you know, get started with, you know, with a collection of names and businesses to steer them down the right road.
Yeah. Now, would this be considered extracurricular, or is this part of the curriculum?
Part of the curriculum. Yep.
Okay. So no extra cost for it.
It's a pass-fail, but it's, you know, mandatory. So they're all going to be participating. There may be some kids that do independent projects or an immersive learning experience taught by a staff member, which, you know, is another opportunity for learning and growth. But we're really focused on the internship aspect at this point. And with such a convenient location, we're downtown. You can walk to so many places. You can hop on the Red Line. And so we have a lot of options available.
Sure. What if they don't want to go on to college, Alex? What if they want to go into the trades or another career, community service, something like that? Sure.
Well, you know, most of our students are, if not all of our students, are college bound. That's one of the reasons they come to Woodward, is we're, you know, 100% college placement.
Right.
And however, you know, I know many people that have gone on to the military or you know, joined the trades forces and do great. There's a lot of opportunities for young people now.
Yes.
And so, you know, there are more and more options available for kids, and we want to help them pursue the avenues that they're most interested in.
Okay.
And so, you know, never say never. There could be someone who's super talented and has already advanced in a certain area, but we're focused on, you know, giving them exposure to college. We start working with our freshmen on college. Many schools don't start till they're juniors.
Oh, yeah.
We start them in the freshman year, sophomore year, and then it intensifies in your junior and senior years.
So that was the bigger plan, was they were going to go on to for higher education of some sort.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a couple of minutes left, but I have a couple more pictures I wanted to show folks.
Sure.
One of them especially is really unique. First of all, let's give them the Impact Learning logo. You've come up with this new logo, right? To represent this new program. So we'll show folks that first.
Great.
And let them get a sense for what that is. And who designed this, by the way?
That'd be me.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Putting that art degree to use.
Very good.
Yeah. And so, you know, it makes an impact, not just on our students, but our many of our, you know, staff members are going to have the opportunity to, you know, work with these kids. And at my former school, my wife taught a bunch of students how to become personal trainers.
Oh, okay.
And they had fun going to gyms and bringing in gym owners and talking to them about personal training. And she decided to become a personal trainer herself.
There you
and
go.
so sometimes it's a great opportunity, not just for the students, also for the adults.
Yeah, only got about a minute, but there's a picture here, a black and white picture of an exterior shot here of Woodward. What are you looking at, Alex?
Well, that is an old picture from the early 1900s of the big blue house, and with the Woodward students sitting around it, and you know, we have many pictures like this in the Greenleaf room on campus.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
That beautiful room. It really pays, you know, tribute to our early days, and it's a pretty fun place.
And there's a more modern shot
That's right.
of Woodward today. Yeah.
Yeah, the recently renovated campus. It's beautiful. It was great having you to campus earlier this year, and you know, it's great having people in to see it, because it's so nice.
It was my pleasure. It was the first time I'd stepped in the building in over 30 years that I've worked in Quincy. So thank you for the invitation.
You bet. Anytime.
And thanks for coming over today. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
All right, we'll have you back too.
All right, thank you.
Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Improving weather out there. Sunshine will be breaking through the clouds. Temperatures will be climbing to around 60 or so. Not too chilly tonight, lower 40s. A little unsettled tomorrow. Look out for some showers, mainly in the afternoon and evening. Clouds will increase here on Sunday, and we back to winter here on Monday with temperatures only in the low 30s. Thanks again to Alex McGay for joining us from the Woodward School. Thank you to our crew. Thank you for watching. Monday here in the program, Al Bean is coming over from the Quincy Quarry and Granite Workers Museum. Don't forget, check out our website anytime. You can go to qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs there. There's news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and a whole lot more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.